So, I don't even know where I'm going to start with this video. But I said I would just turn it on and see what I come out with. I had this really awesome call with my astrologer, Andrew Smith. I've been seeing him for years, since I was a teenager. And I've also done his Blue Rose astrology school. So it was just really great to have a session with him yesterday. I've had like a pretty big year with astrological transits, Uranus to my sun Pluto, and and then Pluto also hitting onto my moon Chiron. So it's been a year that I tend to get a reading once a year, just to kind of give me a little bit of heads up, because as much as you can delve into all your own stuff, it's sometimes nice to get someone else's perspective. And so even though I was like prepared more so for the Pluto to my moon, I really checked in on my health, on kind of the female relationships that may take a bit of a retransformation and go through all of that. But I wasn't really that, as much as I tried to prepare, it meant that I had a better mindset. But even though I still ended up with a virus on my nervous system, Gemini moon, nervous system, Pluto hitting that, causing me to go through a major reboot. Anyway, that's a whole different story, I guess. But yeah, the session then was my second of this year, because it's been quite a turbulent year, even though now I feel like I'm like riding a really awesome wave at the moment, and it's all really cool, really good. I also have to look back, and the reason why I'm so grateful every single day is because I literally feel like I've been through hell, or like a hard time, and that's why it's so nice sometimes to be able to reflect back and say, wow, I have come a long way. Went through a really difficult time. A lot of my relationships went through just a turbulent phase, I suppose. Emotionally, everything was altering. And I can relate a lot of this to astrology, and that just kind of helps give me, that's the crutch I use to help me get through my own psychological stuff. But we had a total like snow globe few months in the middle of the year where we had no idea where we were going to be based. And I was kind of the driving force, where I was like, I definitely wanted to get out of the city. And that's something I've always expressed, that I've always wanted to live either nomadically or just not in a city. I find it really challenging as an empath, or emotionally, whatever way you want to say it. It's just not my cup of tea. So we traveled a lot over the summer, just trying to find base, trying to figure out how my husband and myself could make it work commuting, and that really helped to shift a lot of the crap our relationship was going through, having had 2 years absolutely detrimentally killing the two of us, with a court case that hit our business, and just emotionally wrecked the two of us and our relationship. And we're together a long time, so it was something I think that probably just needed to happen, but it was just really shit the way it did happen. Anyway, nice to know we're on a healing path now. But I just thought, like, when I was chatting to Andrew yesterday during this like call where he laughed at me and kind of said, oh wow, you're certainly riding with that Uranus hitting your sun. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. Getting up on social media isn't really my thing, but I had, since my last call with him, in between that, I had sent him and Karen and one other, Roy, 3 mentors that I really look up to, and I sent them a video of my experience, a really powerful embodiment experience that I had. And I actually recently looked back on the video. My God, I was like trembling, and it was just, yeah, I feel like I've, even though it's only been a few months, I've come a long way in terms of getting in front of a camera and trying to share what I'm trying to say. I find it hard sometimes to put the wording on the multidimensionality or the experiences that I have that are not necessarily everyday, normal, or whatever you want to call normal. But anyway, these people really get me and support me in this kind of, I suppose, this coming out of the closet in a way. And my multi-dimensional self wants to just like dance out of that closet, and I feel kind of compelled to go with that, because many things I want to play with the energy that collectively we're getting to play with. So that's, you know, Jupiter moving into Capricorn, this ability to really kind of put a bit of structure to how you are working with your self expansion and your personal growth, and really you can really achieve a lot when Jupiter gets into Capricorn, because there's a lot of practical grounding that goes with such great expansion. So to look on the positive of that collective energy that we all get to play with, that's something I want to kind of run with. And then we're already feeling, you know, a lot of that Saturn and Pluto conjunction that's coming up in January, where there is a collective shifting of, we all want to experience a different reality, or there's that like interest to see that there's something more to what we consider our bounded, our, you know, Saturn being really kind of the bounds, the walls, the body, the structure that we live within. We want more, and Pluto offers more. It offers that ability to be totally transformed, to be totally altered and reborn as something way more enlightened, but enlightened in like the depth sense. We are looking for that multidimensionality, as in not just the typical 3D everyday life that so many of us are used to, but wanting to experience and share more of those experiences that we have through the astral realms, 5D, 6D and beyond. So I suppose I'm working with that energy that is collectively there, so that I can, in one way, so many people have been so supportive, because that collective energy is there. I've been able to really get beautiful support from new friends and old friends that have connected from the videos that I've shared and the posts that I've shared, and I get to have amazing conversations with people about their own experiences, and we get to share so much more detail about it. And they're the sort of conversations I've been craving for so long, and it's just so wonderful that that we're all kind of waking up to that, and to the want of sharing it, because it becomes more of our languaging, our everyday languaging. But I suppose for me personally, this probably just comes down to my Uranus conjunct Sun transit, and it's about to hit exact for the last little leg of it on the 8th of December until February. So I'm looking forward to really using this energy. Because I think one of my questions was, does this suddenly just go away after this transit? I'm having the most enlightening experiences, like multiple, all the time. And I don't want it to go away. That's why I feel like I'm really like dancing out of the closet. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can totally do this. And I don't want it to stop. And really it just comes down to then using this Capricorn energy to make it a discipline, to make it a routine, to make it my new reality. And that's why I'm sharing, bearing my heart, and keeping myself accountable by at least sharing here, because it opens up to all the other communications that I can have with others. And that's what I'm that's what it's all about, making these connections with others so that we find our tribe and we move together, we shift together, we grow together, and we start creating a really strong bond that allows these new realities, these new ways of connecting with people, ways of communicating become the new norm. And that's something I think that's kind of prevalent with this Saturn and Pluto energy that we're already playing with. There's so much darkness and there's so many other ways of looking at it, I suppose, like that, and so many people have wonderfully written about it and spoken about it, that it can totally affect our political and financial structures, which we can already see these happening. But I think for me, and this is just my own personal desires of what I want to connect to from this, is that there is a shift of the collective in terms of the reality that we get to create. And I feel like the polarities are going to just become more obvious. And it doesn't mean that you don't get to play with all the realities. I just think if you choose what reality you want to play with, it will be there. And that's the one that you want to manifest every day through heart-centered connection, connecting to your heart's desires, putting it out there with gratitude for what you do get to connect with, like nature or whatever it is that you're really into. I just happen to be really into being in nature. Some people absolutely love the buzz of a city and all of that. So it's not like as if I'm poo-pooing that. This is my medicine, to be in nature. So yeah, you gotta just find your gratitude, find what it is that makes your heart sing, and then keep seeking it, keep being grateful for it, because that's what's going to bring more and more of this reality into existence. It's going to bring this multidimensionality of heart-centeredness into reality. We get to play with this in that, this Capricorn energy is going to totally ground us into this reality. It's about Earth. It's about creating new Earth, about rising this new Earth grid that we get to play with. So yeah, I just got totally distracted there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that.